Howdy everyone, Enis20, and I kind of want to get a little real about something that I do that I'm sure there was at least a few people who liked. I write a lot of fanfiction. I did. I haven't in quite a while. The latest thing I did, I wrote a really short Ruby one-shot, I think last month. That's on fanfiction AO3 Tumblr. It's where I post all my stories. But before that, I used to write tons and tons and tons of fics for Xenoblade Chronicles X. And according to fanfiction here, the last time I did any of that was when I posted the latest chapter of Scales in Love back in April 29th, 2017. So it's been almost a year since my last update to that story. And I kind of want to talk about that in general, which I know that someone who's probably read all those stories and is interested in them has a pretty bad feeling about what I'm about to say. I wish I could alleviate that concern, but I don't think I can. So, the background on stories, just in case people don't know. Years ago, after finishing the original Xenoblade Chronicles, I fell in love with that game. That's my favorite game ever, of all time. There's nothing better than it, in my opinion. Since then, I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and I want to say as close as it can get to being as good as Xenoblade Chronicles 1, because it's really hard to pick which one I like. They're both incredible games. But before Xenoblade Chronicles 2, there was Xenoblade Chronicles X, and for that one, I was following it along with all the release information. So I was really excited because I love Xenoblade Chronicles X. I love the original Xenoblade, so I was like, X it's more Xenoblade. I'm excited. I ended up picking up Xenoblade Chronicles X a few months after it released, if not maybe a year later. No, not a year later, because I remember celebrating the first year anniversary of the game's release. Some months later, I don't remember how many. I picked up the game. It took over my life for a month, where I played through it and I 100%ed the game. Which you can see that video I have here of me fighting Telethia and beating it, because that's the end of it. After that, I achieved 100% survey rate. Yay. And I have put in almost 600 hours in the game across 2 playthroughs. One with Cruz, my original blue dude, and one with Janix, the follow-up red girl. And I really did like the game. And on Tumblr, I saw a post talking about a Discord to join, a Xenoblade X Discord specifically, where we join and talk about the game. I joined that place, and it was a lot of fun. Because there was a lot of people there who like Xenoblade Chronicles X, and it's there's no one in my actual real life that I could talk to about that game. No one, really. I mean, I can talk my sister's ears off, but I think it gets to the point where they eventually decide to tune me out, because they just don't care. It's not a game they play. I don't think they would ever play it. I don't know. One of my sisters actually played it with me, though, and that was a lot of fun. That aside, the Discord was a lot of fun just because I could finally talk to people and stuff, and they inspired me to put more thought into my crosses. At the time, when I joined the Discord, I only had one. I had only played the game with Cruz. But I started the game again with Janix, my second character, and from then on, it just it became crazy, because I developed Janix and retroactively Cruz into deeper characters. Because the cross of the game isn't a character. It's not. It's just an empty person who goes on and engages the adventure. In my opinion, ruins the narrative because they don't ever say any fucking thing. Which I guess it doesn't really matter because the narrative is already trash, so there's nothing you can do to save it. But more important than that, the Discord inspired me to take just to do more creative things. I started writing. I started drawing a lot, thanks to being there. It took place in what they call the Crossverse, which is basically it's a version of Xenoblade X where all of our playable characters are actually there. No one is the Cross that was woken up by Elma in Starfall Basin. They're just all members of Blade who are all working in NLA to achieve peace and help humanity move forward. Blade's mission statement. And because of that, I got into role playing for the first time ever, with a bunch of friends, with a bunch of people, And of course that also helped me in developing my Fics, although the Fics take place in the actual canon game universe where there's only one cross, in this case Cruz. And Janix takes the role of just another person who's found in another stasis chamber somewhere else, but she didn't lose her memories, which is the big difference. And so because of that, I like to write a lot of stories about Cruz and Janix. I have a ton. If you don't know, you can just go to my fanfiction and see them all. Let's see if I can find them. Okay, here we go. The first one I wrote was called Do I Know Me, October 1st, 2016. After that, there was Starfall, October 2nd, Elmira, October 3rd, Stay Sharp, October 12th, October 6th to October 12th, Janix, October 15th, 1 Year On, December 4th. That was on the 1 year anniversary of the game's release. Hello Xenos, when did I publish that one? December 10th. Consequences, February 27th, 2017. All the other ones were 2016. Phantom, when was that one written? March 2nd, 2017. The Bloodstained Corporal, March 10th. Ordinary Day, March 13th. And finally, Skeleton Love, my huge one, which was published October 26th and was, of course, last updated April 29th, 2017. So 2016 to 2017. I've written a lot. You can find them all in my fanfiction, on my AO3, on my Tumblr. Well, most of them on my Tumblr. I think it's easier to go to the other places to read stuff. And I had a lot of fun writing them because the stories are just so much fun to write because I was invested in that game's setting in a way because I still don't understand. It was because of the fact that I was with people I could bounce ideas off. Because you need that. Xenoblade Chronicles X's biggest issue with, which honestly, everyone on the Discord seems to gloss over or ignore the fact that it's an issue, but I'm sorry, it is an issue. X, most of the cast, most of the characters have no development whatsoever. They're just there. The story, it doesn't matter. It's dumb. It's not complex in the least, despite what people say it isn't. The world is empty, not as in the open world that you explore, as in that there's no background to anything. You find so many cool ruins and so many cool structures in the world of Mira, but the game doesn't tell you shit about them. There's nothing. All you can go on in Xenoblade Chronicles X is what you think, which I guess that might be what they were going for, but for me, personally, I like to know things for certain. I don't like to just have fan speculation. I want to actually know why this is this, why this is that, why did this happen in the story, because it doesn't tell you jack shit. And it annoyed me. But at the time, I mostly just ignored it and was like, well, fine then, I'll create my own things. And that's what I did with the fanfiction, and that's how I had fun with it. And people read it, people liked it. I made a bunch of reading reviews videos on stuff posted by a bunch of people. I think, I can't remember all their names and I feel really bad. I know Cormac Ravenstaff was one who read and reviewed almost every chapter, but I'm fairly certain that there was at least 2 other people who were regular readers on all my Xenoblade Chronicles X stuff and regular commenters. I wish I remember their names, I'm sorry, it's been so long. I could probably just look up my reviews here because I had the page open to see if there's anyone else there. But, let's see. Oh, Rexora. How could I forget? Rexora 888. Man, dude, how could I forget? I feel so terrible. Amazing person, that is. They really, really, Jesus, I forgot these reviews were this long. So, where am I getting to? Alright. So yeah, I had fun writing the stories. I just did. Because I liked Xenoblade Chronicles X. My more critical eye on it didn't really take any effect on it until maybe a year after I'd beaten the game, and I started thinking back on how it just did not live up to the depth that Xenoblade Chronicles presented, and it was kind of disappointing. But I'm like, I still had fun with it. I don't really mind. So as time went on, things changed. So I will say that the Discord was primarily a Tumblr-based Discord. So everyone on that Discord, or most everyone on the Discord, went on there from Tumblr, and there's no denying that Tumblr is famous for certain types of people and making issues out of things that aren't issues, and just being a pretty shit place at times. But I was like, it shouldn't matter, and for the most part, it didn't. It was pretty chill for months. Every so often, someone decided to try to start shit, but it was like easy to ignore. But the longer I stayed there, the more apparent it became that it wasn't the kind of place that I wanted to be. And this is throwing aside other personal stuff that bothered me. There was a full disclosure, there was an RP that I did with people that severely bothered me. Just the way that it was handled. Not really the way that it was handled. It's a long story, very personal, and very stupid. Like, I'll admit, very stupid, because it had to do with shipping of all things. And it is stupid to say, and yes, I do think it's stupid that it's bothered me for so long. But it bothered me, because of the way that it was done. I mean, I don't want to go too far into it, because I don't want to throw shade on the people who caused me to have such a bad reaction. Like, because I did talk with them a lot. They were like, they were friends. We were like a crew that did all our RPs together. There was like 4 or 5 of us that just liked to do RPs together because we liked each other's characters. And I thought that my character and another character would be great together. I received support for that idea. Not a lot, honestly, when I look back on it. But enough that made me go, this would be interesting, because, I mean, let's face it, I've never been in that kind of situation. And the idea of getting your original character and someone else's original character and having them be happy together or trying something like that is cute. And I thought, oh, that's really nice, because my original characters have always just been mine, and they've never been in a position where other people could interact with them in such a way. And I was like, I can't believe someone else actually likes my character this much to do and engage and be in this kind of way. Then it turned out that I was, I guess, completely misreading something, and no, that was not something that actually happened. And I'm being very vague about it, but it's because I don't want to start listing names and saying exactly what happened, because it's something that happened over a year ago at this point. And it was something that happened and bothered me for... It was an entire month where I was in a really shitty mood, and I just hated everything. And then after that, I just didn't want to do anymore. Like, I RP'd a lot on that server, because it was fun. I liked having my character meet other characters. And then after that specific RP happened, I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to be there anymore. There is a version of this where I left that Discord after that RP, and there are a lot of days where I think it would have been far better and healthier for me if I had left immediately after, instead of sticking around for as long as I did for the reasons that I did. The only downside to that is that because I did stick around the Discord longer, I did end up meeting like my best friend basically on there. He's super awesome. We still talk all the time now, even though I've left. Like, it's almost every day that we're always talking. He's super cool. So I guess it's like, would I have wanted to put myself through more effort of staying there, or would I want to miss out on a best buddy? So it's a really hard call to make. And in the end, I am glad that I'd have that best buddy, even if those memories of that moment suck. Moving on, because I'm like, you're probably wondering, like, what does this have to do with your stories? Why are you telling us this whole long story about how you got so upset at shipping? And it's like, sorry, but that is just, it wasn't really that so much as afterwards I just was in such a shit mood, and then the Discord just started being a terrible place to be, completely honest, you know. The place just, people, it really started living to its Tumblr name, with people getting pissed and crying and whining about every little thing. Anything you can imagine. Like, have you heard that people fight about this on Tumblr? Then I can guarantee you they were fighting about that. And it's just like, shut up. There's more important things to worry about than that, but I never could tell anyone that. Every time there was a stupid argument going on, I always want to say, like, you're being stupid, shut up. But I never did because I didn't like confronting, which I think is in its own issue. Why it took me so long to get over something, because I just internalized a lot of it. I don't like fighting with people, especially over shitty, stupid opinions and shitty, stupid things like that. But eventually I finally left. But by that point, the damage was done. And to make matters worse, like at that point, I'm just like, because I've had so many bad experiences with these people on that server, it tied those bad experiences to Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I started enjoying Xenoblade Chronicles X a lot less, because I couldn't help but think about those obnoxious people. The next step that really, really, really just hammered in everything and brought this all to a front was when Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was announced. And that server, wow, it just became an unbearable shitstorm of people crying and complaining about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because it exists. Acting like somehow Xenoblade Chronicles 2 existing was shitting on Xenoblade Chronicles X. Like, the very idea that someone would look at Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and be like, oh, that looks cool, I can't wait for that game to come out, somehow translated to, yeah, that's good, X sucks, basically. Like, anytime anyone would ever throw praise on 2, I feel like people couldn't help but think that by doing that, they were directly insulting X. And it's not the case, really. People are just excited for 2. Were there some people who said, wow, I'm looking forward to X, I'm looking forward to it, looks a lot better than X? I don't doubt it. I'm one of those people. I'm pretty sure you can go back and find videos of me saying that, of me being like, 2 looks like a great game. It looks to fix all my issues with X, thus making it better than X. And that's just, in my opinion, a fact. That's something that I look at when I look at those 2 games, and I'm like, yeah, 2's better than X, of course. Because, like, from a personal perspective, once again, my big issues with X was its shitty lore, the world not being developed at all, the story being pretty boring and uninteresting, and most of the cast being dull and uninspired. Because the characters don't have character development. People will argue till they die that yes, they do. They're deep characters. Most of them are not. If it's not the main crew featured in the story, they don't. And even if it is the main crew featured in the story, most of them don't still. It's just being honest, it's true. X had those issues. 2 fixed all those issues, and thus why 2 is better than X as far as I'm concerned. 2 has characters that develop, it has an interesting world, it actually gives you some world building that you can look at, and just the story is freaking amazing. So by fixing those issues with 2, in my opinion, that's what made 2 better than X. But I never looked at it as like, but that never made me believe that X is a bad game. Like, yeah, I thought that those elements of X, the story narrative points, are weak, but I still played 600 hours of X. And that is just my view on the whole deal. And I just could not stand people on the Discord being such whiny babies for irrelevant reasons just because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 exists. They were just so angry all the time, and every time a new trailer came out, the same people would come out and bitch about it for the same stupid reasons. Any reason you're thinking of, yeah, that's why they were bitching about it. And at that point, I'm just like, you know what? I can't deal with this. These people are all stuck in their little stupid world where they can't accept any other game other than Xenoblade Chronicles X existing. And I got better things to do than worry about people shitting all over a game they haven't even played yet, because of whatever garbage reasons they have. So I left. So all of that, compounding all of that together, my bad experience with that RP, the Discord just becoming more Tumblr than I'd care to admit, the rampant hate on 2, just, I lost all interest in creating content for Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't want to write Fics anymore, I don't want to draw for it anymore, I just don't care anymore. Because it's all the negative connotations are there, and it's just stained my feelings on the game because of how immature and idiotic people acted. All of this is to say, I doubt I will ever be returning to my Xenoblade Chronicles X world of fanfictions, because I don't want to. I just I don't feel like I want to do that anymore, because specifically of people being because of all the reasons that I just gave. It's just bothered me so much that I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to contribute anymore to the X fandom. I'm done with it. I've moved on. I found a new Discord to join. A new Discord for where people talk about Xenoblade. All the Xenoblades are represented there. All the Xenos are represented there. There's even channels for chatting about Xenogears, Xenosaga if you want to. Compared to the old Discord, it's a lot less active and there's less people. But it's better. It's quieter, it's more positive, and people are happier. So I would greatly prefer that one. I can talk to people I can talk to my best friend about too, and we could just have happy chats about it. Sometimes I still talk about the original Xenoblade because I still think it's one of the best games ever made. And I don't need that negativity and that pointless fighting about anything else anymore. I don't want any of it, so I just avoid X like the plague. I don't do anything about it anymore. I don't interact about it anymore. I don't. Yeah, the worst part about it is that it just makes me feel bad for Cruz and Janix, my own characters that I created, but because they're so tied to Xenoblade Chronicles X, I don't want to do anything more with them, because I don't. So all of this is to say, again, I have to repeat, I don't think anything is happening for those fanfictions that I'm sure people are looking forward to. I checked all my fanfictions again. The only one that is incomplete is Skeleton Love, which was the huge undertaking that I went into. Really big story, diving into Janix's psyche and explaining her past and all the problems that she has, while also presenting a origin point for her relationship with Alexa, which is something that I always wanted to write and do. Luckily, Phantom exists, which is a story I wrote that actually takes place after Skeleton Love, even though Skeleton Love isn't finished yet. So you do get to see Alexa and Janix's relationship, like how they are together, even if you never get to see them get together, because I can't write it. So Skeleton Love was planned to have 18 chapters. As you can see, every 6 is like the end of an arc. 6 ended, I believe, in Sylvalum, 12 ended with the mission, and 18 was just supposed to be the finale of it all, bringing it all together to a close. So I don't have like a firm explanation of what happens in the last few chapters, but I do have the big bullet points of what I wanted to hit for the end of Skeleton Love, at the very least. And I also have a bunch of stuff I wanted to share with the Fics I had planning moving forward, because I created an arc villain with the ending of a mission, chapter 12 of Skeleton Love, and 13 I think a bit of. The arc villain is known as Badul's Remnants, I believe it was, led by Badul the One-Eyed, one of the tyrants from the game, and including a bunch of other tyrants from the games and super bosses, were going to be the overarching villains of like the next 4 or 5 stories. And I had a bunch of crazy stuff planned, and I still remember most of it. It's a shame I just can't bring myself to ever write it, but if you're interested, if you're someone who's read my stories and you at least want to know how things wrap up, or you want to know where things go for certain characters or certain events, let me know. Let me know if you want me to make a video explaining all of that, like basically giving away all the plot that was to come, because I got that. I can give that to you, and I feel like I at least owe that to the people who have so relentlessly and tirelessly read my absurd amount of, like, the absurdly long stories that I've written, been through all those intense action scenes, and just read all of that, because I do feel like it isn't really fair to the readers who've been with me for so long to say that I'm not doing it, and sorry, and not give you anything for it. I want to be able to give you something for it, you know. So if you're interested, just let me know and I'll do that. sorry this got so long, and sorry I delved into probably parts that you're like, I don't care about this. But I wanted to give you my full reasons as to why I got there. And yeah, there's really not much else to say. I just don't care. I mean, it's not that I don't care about the readers or people who are so invested in my stuff. You're the people that you're the reason. That specific group of people is the reason why I made this video. The more thing I don't care about is just Xenoblade Chronicles X as a medium. I'm just done with it. So yeah, that's it. So let me know, and if I get a comment about it, then I'll do it. I'll make a video talking about all the stories, and also I hope to one day finally get around to making a video talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because it's been forever since I've beaten it. I'm still playing it. I know the New Game Plus update, all the new updates coming out, I'm still working through them all. So yeah, hopefully I get to do that someday. Alright then. Thanks for sticking by and listening to this probably stupid video, all things considered. That really didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but I've felt the need to make this for a long time. Anyway, Batman 11 is coming out after this, so continue that Let's Play, because it's a ton of fun. Anyway, until next time, everyone. Hasta.